All right, all right, all right. I think we are live. Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome for those who are joining this webinar from all around the world. Let us know where you're joining from. I'm very excited to be hosting this webinar today. Seeing a few people already posting in the chat. I don't see a lot of comments from the LinkedIn folks today. I want to see what the LinkedIn folks have to say as well. So we have Simon from Montreal, Canada. How's it going, Simon? It's good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. It's I assume it's Eastern time in Montreal. I'm not entirely sure. But thank you very much for joining us. Kieran, hello everyone. Hello to you as well, joining us from India. Rafsao from Chicago. Great to see you. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Rafsao, or is that your username? Ziad, data engineering, Heart. Yes, agree. We all love data engineering. Um, then we have Pablo from Argentina. Good to see you. Bora from Barcelona. I was just in Barcelona actually. Very lovely, beautiful city. Um, Garden State. Lorraine Davis from Garden State in New Jersey. Hello, Lorraine. Great to have you here. Um, Lillian from Zimbabwe. Oyesina from Nigeria. A global crowd today. Really, really appreciate everyone joining in. It's really awesome seeing everyone joining us from all over the world. It's really a pleasure, a privilege to be able to host these sessions, and I'm very excited to show everyone what we have in store for this quarter on DataCamp, and then maybe a couple of extra folks because we have, I think we have some new parts of the world. We have Ziad from Egypt. Marhaba Ziad, it's good to see you. Everybody from Ireland. Um, Mark from the Philippines. Great to see everyone here join us from across the world. And we have Billy from very warm Greece. Tell me about it. I'm going to be in Beirut next week, so very similar weather as well. So yeah, I think we can get started. So I'm going to share my screens, and then I'm going to intro Richie, who's going to be also joining us in a bit. But for those who are not aware about DataCamp, DataCamp's mission is to democratize data and AI skills for everyone. We do this by offering individuals and organizations best in class learning with online courses that you can use that are interactive across all of the data and AI tool spectrum and technical spectrum. We also provide tools for individuals and organizations to apply what they learn with DataCamp Datalab, an online IDE that you can use to do data work, as well as grow their capabilities and their team. Whether you want to certify your people with the best in class data certifications using DataCamp certifications. This is why we work with 4,000 data driven organizations on their upskilling programs, and more than 14 million learners have learned data and AI skills on DataCamp. Now, I'm also joined by Richie, who's going to be joining us shortly. So I'm based in Belgium. Richie, it's great to see you.
Hi, Del. Great to see you. And hello, audience. Great to see everyone.
Yeah, where are you joining us from, Richie? I think it's obvious on the
I'm
map.
joining us from New York. Although, actually, I do live in the Garden State as well. So, obviously, Lorraine's my neighbor, so stately neighbor.
Yeah, 100%. And then Reese is joining us from London as well. He'll be sending over a lot of info in the chat, so tune in for that as well. Now, I want to get to know you as well a bit. So I have this really first before actually we do that, I'll do a bit of housekeeping actually. Yeah. Um, do ask some questions, right? As many questions as you want. We'll make sure to get to them at the end, right? We're going to send a lot of links in the chat. Make sure to check them out. And then if you enjoyed this webinar, if you like what we have in store for this quarter, do share it with your colleagues, your friends, anyone who would be interested in DataCamp. We'd love to make sure that we, uh, raise the tides of upskilling together. Now, as I mentioned, I would like to know you a bit. So I want to make this a bit interactive, right? Do let me know how you are using or are interested in using DataCamp. So go to www.menti.com and type in this particular code 5588508. Alternatively, you can also use the QR code that you see here. I have the survey open here. I'm going to give it a minute to let everyone join in. Let me know if you cannot access it. And then so we have career growth, 100%. I mean, everyone's here for career growth. I'm going to give it an extra 60 seconds. So we have 20% upskill my team, 17%, 83%. I'll let everyone answer it, and then we'll uncover the answers together shortly. 25% upskill my team, which is about how I saw it coming. Okay, going down a bit. Not a lot of people are interested in getting work done fast. For those, okay, I'm going to give it an extra minute, and then we'll be able to further understand who's in the room. Okay, so 15% of you are, managers looking interested in upskilling their own team. 85% of you want to learn on DataCamp, and not a lot of you are looking to do data work quickly. Hopefully, you have the tools needed for the job. Now, I see 87-13, so around that ballpark. So awesome to see. So many people kind of respond here. If you cannot join the link, let us know in the comments. We'll also make sure that we know. I see here someone mentioning that they can't join the link. And yeah, we'll make sure to as well send this over in the follow-up email as well. Now, with that said, now that we understand kind of how everyone here is using DataCamp or is interested in using DataCamp, let's talk about, setting the stage on the data and AI transformation imperative, talking about like the moment that we are in and how DataCamp's mission aligns with this moment. So, the skills economy is shifting. Like it's no doubt that, in the 1980s, when computers became ubiquitous within the workplace, computer literacy became extremely essential for succeeding within the modern workforce. Similarly, in the early 2000s, when software became much more prevalent, use of the internet became much more prevalent within the workplace, software and internet literacy became extremely essential to succeed in the modern workforce. Almost every one of us take, for example, using something like Microsoft Word or Excel for granted, but there was actually a big upskilling push at the time to make sure folks get used to these tools. And, with the acceleration of digital transformation, specifically as a result of COVID-19, as well as, the proliferation of digital tools and digitization of many services that we see today, data literacy in the 2020s became extremely important. And that data, actually, the acceleration and the boom of data led to the AI revolution, the AI boom that we're seeing today, which leads us to the age of data and AI literacy, which is actually quite essential, which is shaping up to be an essential skill set to succeed in the modern workforce. So we've had the privilege of working with many organizations and many individuals on their data and AI upskilling ambitions, right? We work with Allianz, for example, to upskill more than 6,000 employees worldwide using personalized learning paths and projects so that their workforce can, upskill on essential data and AI skills. Um, 19,000 hands-on learning hours, right, across Python, data literacy, SQL, Power BI, and spreadsheets, right? Um, and we had a program that grew from 100 people to 6,000 people with them that ended up, on average, saving Allianz employees 2 hours of work a week just from automation and improvement of work. Now, another type of projects that we worked with on data and AI literacy is with Rolls-Royce, where we work with their engineering teams to provide them um, Python programming skills and machine learning skills to automate business processes that led to a 100x acceleration in design engineering processes for their engine designs, which is also an incredible use case of data and AI skills in the modern workforce and the type of value they provide. So another example we work with, especially with the AI boom that we've seen, is with Colgate Palmolive, for example. I mean, um, we worked with Colgate to upskill more than 14,000 employees on data and AI literacy, including key concepts and skills such as using ChatGPT, for example, and how to effectively and responsibly use these types of tools. So, DataCamp's mission, when we think about this moment that we're in, and when we think about the challenges that both our learners and the DataCamp for Business customers and organizations that we work with face, is to provide the best learning experience for data and AI skills with a curriculum that is trusted and that is both wide and deep, that is built for individuals and organizations of all skill levels, regardless of where they are in the world, and to create an experience that goes beyond learning and becomes a hub for succeeding in data and AI. So, with that, I want to provide a snapshot here today, me and Richie, of what's new in Q3 of 2024. So, with that, I'll invite Richie on stage, and he's going to be walking us through specifically new learning experiences and curriculum updates coming to DataCamp in Q3 of 2024. Richie, take it away.
All right, super. Let's get into some of the updates to the learning platform. Okay, so yeah, we're starting off with providing the best learning experience for data and AI skills. So that means like what's new in the learning product. This sandboxes feature is the feature I'm perhaps most excited about. Maybe all this year, it's going to be wild. So I've been working with data for more than 20 years now. I still struggle with Python package management. And I know that one of the great successes of DataCamp has been that you don't need to deal with that. So whether you're in one of our courses or projects, or you're using our Datalab notebook, all that kind of setup stuff is taken care of. You just go and learn, and you never need to worry about like what's happening underneath. And so we're trying to apply this principle to other technologies, because it's not just Python that's hard to get started with. All the kind of cloud data warehouses, business intelligence tools, you've got to download some software, you've got to configure it, you've got to get yourself set up. It's a really slow process to getting started, particularly when you want to learn something new and you're not sure like how it all works and whether you even want to pursue this in depth. So the sandbox is going to be basically a zero install way of getting started with all these new technologies. So we're going to start off with business intelligence platforms. So I think Power BI is going to be first. So the idea is that once you have a DataCamp account, you can just use Power BI straight away, zero setup. Just away you go and play with the stuff. And then later on, we're going to be looking at like some of the cloud computing platforms. So AWS, Azure, and then data warehouses like Databricks and Snowflake, other things like that. So big plans for this. Power BI coming in Q3, and then more technologies to follow. So this is going to be a real game changer, I think, just for being able to try new technologies without any risk, without any effort. All right, next slide. So this one's a simpler thing, but I'm also very excited with it. So the track listings pages that we had, where it just tells you these are the courses and projects you have to take in order to complete a career track or a skill track. That page was launched, I think, back in 2017. And it's not had many updates. And it was one of the pages I hated most on DataCamp. So it's finally been redesigned. It's now much easier to tell what you've done, like what progress you've made within a track, what you need to do in order to continue, and then just see like, have I got my statements of accomplishment yet? So it's just a little tweak, but very, very beneficial, because I think a lot of people spend a lot of time on these track pages trying to work out where they're up to in their learning progress. All right, if we go to the next slide. Another fun thing is that we've made improvements to streaks. So if you use DataCamp on a day, you get to, like on a particular day, you get to continue your streak. You've got to try and build up as many days in a row as you can in order to build that learning habit. And one of the most commonly requested features for DataCamp was to be able to have a streak freeze. So sometimes, okay, you're just busy that day, you don't have time to log in and learn. So you're able to freeze your streak, and that way you don't lose all your streak progress. There's also some improved notifications just to make sure that you don't forget to log into DataCamp that day. Another big problem is trying to figure out which course do I take next. So you finish a course, what should I do now? And so we've improved our recommendation engine to give you recommendations on what course, practice, project, whatever, in order to do next. So you're not wasting time trying to figure out what to do, maybe picking a course that's just not relevant to you, we're giving you better recommendations so you can just continue learning. We've also just made some of the layout a bit easier to follow, because just finding out what to do, it shouldn't be part of your time. You should spend most of your time learning things. Next slide. We've also added a feature called Learning Recap. So sometimes, like maybe you go away on vacation or you're busy for a week or two, you are halfway through a course and you can't remember where you're up to. Sometimes it can be a bit difficult to get back in and start learning again. So these learning recaps just give you a little reminder of what you just learned previously, and that's going to help get your brain in gear so you can pick up learning again. So it's just making it easier to have that sort of consistent learning experience where you're not getting stuck and then, oh, I don't know what to do, and then you just forget DataCamp, because that'd be terrible. All right, next slide. The other thing is we've made some improvements to the mobile app. So DataCamp was a desktop app before it was a mobile app, so not every single course was available on mobile, and we've made a lot of progress in getting almost all the content from desktop ported into a mobile format. So there have been 64 new courses added. There's also been improvements to the video experience. So now you can get the slides and transcripts for all course videos available on mobile. So that's been available on desktop for many, many years, but it's now also available on mobile. You can also share your achievements. So if you want to tweet about how you've finished the course, you can do that. You want to post on LinkedIn and show off to all your peers, you can do that as well from your mobile. All right, let's move on to the next section. So we're now talking about a trusted curriculum, both wide and deep. So that means what are the new courses, projects, or pieces of content coming along? Now, no surprise, AI is just a huge focus for DataCamp at the moment. So we've already got quite a lot of courses on AI. So there's all the traditional machine learning stuff, but from the sort of generative AI perspective, we've got a lot of content that's conceptual. We also had a lot of OpenAI related content. There's more of that coming. We're also broadening into new technologies. So the Llama, so that's Meta's generative AI model. That's going to have a big focus. Microsoft Copilot, so that's the generative AI features built into a lot of other Microsoft products. That's going to get a course. And then the EU AI Act. This is such a huge deal for any organization that does business within the European Union. You need, like, basically every employee needs to understand the EU AI Act if you're going to do something related to AI in Europe. This is going to be an essential course. And just a heads up, we're also doing a webinar on this next month. I think it's going to be August 14th. We're going to have a webinar just talking you through the details of the EU AI Act and what AI training you need in order to be compliant with this law. So this is going to be a huge focus for DataCamp throughout the rest of the year, more AI content. All right, if we go to the next slide. The other thing is cloud technology. So at this point, most organizations are doing a lot of data analysis, data science in the cloud. It's just, if your data is too big to fit on a laptop, your data is going to live in the cloud. You might as well do your analysis in the cloud. And so we already have quite a lot of content around Azure, and we've just sort of more recently started creating content on AWS. We've got a lot more content coming this way. So there's going to be a full skill track full of AWS content. So at the very least, if your company is working in the cloud, you just need to understand which services are going to be useful for data. Because all these clouds, they're huge now. They've got 200-300 different services each, and not all of them are relevant for people working with data, but there are quite a few that you need to know about. So you need to be able to go, oh, well, this is a database service, this is a machine learning service. Also understand a little bit about security, so you don't cause a massive security leak incident. That's not going to go down well for your career. Similarly, you need to understand a bit about cost control for these things. You do not want to have run up a ridiculous bill because you didn't shut down a server and then get shouted up by one of your financial officers. Microsoft Fabric is also one of the most hyped technologies coming out of Microsoft. So this is their implementation of Data Fabric. It's pretty cool stuff. And so there is a course coming on in September. Actually, I think we've got a webinar coming up in late August as well for that. Just finalizing the details on that, but plenty of Microsoft Fabric content coming soon. All right, one more slide on the new content. So we have a couple of new technologies. Databricks, so the cloud data warehouse. Oh gosh, I got in trouble with their marketing team for calling it a data warehouse. I think data intelligence platform is their preferred term. But anyway, we have an intro to Databricks course already. There are 3 more courses coming soon. As these can be interactive, so you can be working with Databricks in the cloud. Very, very cool stuff. And this is going to give you like the full data analysis sort of suite of introductory tools. So basically data visualization, data management, and a bit of playing around with SQL. There's also KNIME. So actually, I don't know whether, I'm never quite sure whether it's a silent K or not. It might be NIME, it might be KNIME. I think it's German. So yeah, probably would pronounce the K. Anyway, this is it's like a no-code data pipeline tool. So it's great for just sort of running simple pipelines of data, putting they've got a lot more features for like putting data code into production as well. So it's a sort of all-in-one low-code platform for just managing your data projects. Very cool stuff. And the first course is going to be coming in September. All right. Let's move on to the next slide and back to you, Adele.
Okay, thank you, Richie, so much for that overview of every learning experience that's coming to DataCamp in Q3, as well as all of the curriculum. I am super excited, especially for the cloud curriculum. I think there's going to be a whole new area of learners are going to take benefit, I think, from this particular set of courses. So I'm very excited that, we're going to be releasing a lot of cloud content and working with developers on making sure that that cloud content is fit for purpose. Now, what I want to show as well here is, third pillar of our mission is built for individuals and organizations of all skill levels. Richie walked over, the learning experience that we have and how we're optimizing it to make the learning experience excellent. But I want to talk about the administrator experience. If you're a DataCamp for Business administrator, if you have a team or a widespread organization that you're administering a learning program with DataCamp for Business, the admin portal, you're going to be spending a lot of time at the admin portal. So whether that means assigning tracks, creating custom tracks for your team alongside our customer success team, or downloading data and looking at the data of how your learners are learning, there's a lot of improvements that have been done to the administrator portal this quarter, and they're going to be released soon. So one, we've improved custom reporting and custom date filtering for tracking learning progress. So even more granular reporting depending on the dates that you have, as well as improve the customized reports that you can create with the DataCamp for Business administrator portal. We've improved the dashboard with more focus, clarity, and consistency, improvements in the UI and user experience to make it easier to navigate the DataCamp for Business experience. More importantly, we add new and improved reporting for certifications and assessments. So if you have particularly learners that are within your organization that are using DataCamp certifications, you'll be able to track their progress in a much more granular way. And we've added 2 new LMS integrations, which are really important if you're a part of a learning team and you have a learning management system that makes it easy to integrate with your learning management system. We have added Docebo and 360 Learning LMS integrations this quarter and are adding them as well. So with that said as well, let's talk about our next pillar, which is regardless of where our learners are in the world. Now, this is also one of the most exciting aspects of our roadmap this year, which is the localization of DataCamp into multiple languages. Now, we've already released DataCamp Spanish, we've already released DataCamp Portuguese, but now we're also releasing DataCamp in German. And we're going to be releasing DataCamp in German, I think, at the end of the quarter. But with Portuguese and Spanish, more than 100 translated courses will be available. And with all 3 of these languages, more than 100 translated courses will be available at the end of the quarter. And more importantly, we're also now translating the audio in all of the courses that we have in Spanish. So now we have translated audio in Spanish for more than 30 courses as well by the end of the quarter, which is really, really exciting if you want to learn data science in a different language. Now, talked about as well, this is, we want to go beyond just learning. We want to be a hub for data and AI transformation. So one, on the data lab front, we a better and more secure data lab. So here you see a wrong subtitle in Spanish and German, but we have improved data sources, we have updated table output experience, we've improved security for enterprise customers, and DataCamp certified learners will get a month of free data lab moving forward as well. On DataCamp certifications, we've made it really easy for organizations to certify their team. So one, you can we have a dedicated certification page now in the admin portal to see exactly what are the certifications that are available to provide for your team members, right? And also offers visibility into your learner readiness to do a certification. More importantly, as well, we work with a lot of organizations on custom certifications for their particular needs and teams. So now you get information that you can easily have within the admin portal to request custom certifications and work with our team on custom certifications. Now, we're also going to be launching new certifications, which is very exciting. So our data engineering certification is already live, and we have a Python Data Associate, an AWS Partner certification, an AI EU Act certification, a Data Governance Fundamentals certification, that are all going to be coming by the end of the quarter, which are extremely exciting for a large host of audiences within our DataCamp for Business customers, as well as our learners, which is very, very exciting. Now, one additional thing as well that we get a lot of requests on, which are CPE credits, so continuing professional education credits. These credits are actually quite important to retain certifications or retain professional certifications, such, for example, accounting certifications, right? They need to have CPE credits that you fulfill. DataCamp will now, learning on DataCamp will now allow you to get CPE credits. So we will start offering CPE credits earnings through our courses by the end of the quarter as well, which is very exciting if you're part of an accounting team and you're learning Power BI or Excel on DataCamp, for example. So now that we've covered what we're going to talk, is coming in Q3, I want to make sure that we have some time for questions, which we definitely do. So make sure to ask as many questions as you want, right? And on how you can get started, right? So if you're an individual learner, want to learn on DataCamp, just try DataCamp for free today. You can register, try a lot of our courses. Every first chapter is for free. And if you want to upgrade to a premium account, you'll get access to DataCamp Premium. You'll have access to all of our DataCamp certifications, or you'll have access to DataLab, not DataLab Premium though, and then you'll be able to take part of all of the experiences on DataCamp except for DataLab Premium. Now, with that said, if you're part of the team, for small teams, you can sign up, 50 people and less, you can sign up for DataCamp teams today, right? So all you need to do is a credit card and add your team members immediately. For large teams, do speak with our sales team on how we can create a bespoke enterprise solution for you. We're going to add a link in the description. I'm going to add as well a QR code that you can use to submit a demo request. And if you want to upskill your organization, all of it, do speak with us as well, because we do have bespoke enterprise solutions for unlimited offers where anyone within your organization can easily get on DataCamp in a really cost-effective manner. So do make sure to check out DataCamp for Business if you're interested in that for your team, or DataCamp if you're interested in that for your personal learning. Now, with that, I'll pause a bit and then I'll bring on Richie, because there's quite a bit of I'll bring him again. There's quite a bit of questions that we're getting on the curriculum, on the updates. So with that,
before we go to audience questions, I've got a question for you, Adele.
Yeah.
What's your favorite upcoming feature?
Favorite upcoming feature? You already grabbed the sandbox one, which I think is the most exciting one, which is, so technically it is the sandbox one, right? But if I were to choose another one, it's probably localization. I think not a lot of us, it's really easy to gloss over the rest of the world when you're in the English speaking world. right? And there's a massive amount of people who uh, um, who will benefit from data and AI upskilling as a consequence of localizations. I see Reese here being GPT Richie needs to be a feature, maybe at one point in time.
People keep trying to automate me.
Uh, it's really hard to do that. So with that said, I'll transition to questions. So first question here is from Simon Reeves. Congratulations on the translation. I really appreciate that. Any ETA in the pipeline for translation in French? No, yet. French localization will happen. But whether that will happen in Q4 or at the beginning of next year is still to be determined. We are prioritizing languages simply based off of how many people from the countries, the languages from the countries that we serve, essentially. So French will be there. It's just
Yeah,
a
just
when.
to add to that, French is definitely next on the priority list. It's just the
Mhm,
timeline hasn't been decided yet.
exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting a few other questions that I cannot share on screen for some reason. So first question from Liam. What specific new technologies will be covered in upcoming courses? So we'll be sharing the slides that you can check out in detail, but lots of Gen AI content, Llama 3, lots of cloud courses, and a lot of Fabric courses as well, and Databricks, data warehousing content. So make sure to check those out. Very excited to see those live as well. Couple of extra questions. So another one from Simon. Can you explain the distinction between the upcoming sandbox and the current data lab functionality? Richie, I'll let you explain that.
Yeah, sure. So the sandbox is going to be mostly for non sort of coding technology. It's not just about like writing Python. It's going to be about like basically, can you have like the desktop version of Power BI running in a browser? So in the same way in our Power BI courses, you've got Power BI running inside a virtual machine inside your web browser. Is going to be that sort of thing. And we're going to work with other technologies. So for example, like with AWS, normally you have to go and set up a whole account and then sort of add your credit card there and start that. There's a ton of things to configure. So basically, it's just going to be a simple version of that. On the coding side of things, I think there will be a Python sandbox. That's just going to be a really stripped down experience for doing things like practicing simple challenges. So at the moment, our practice mode, you're not running live Python. So it's going to be that sort of thing. Let you write Python. It's for disposable code, whereas Datalab's more for like permanent analyses. It's like it's going to be a much simpler thing in that case. Sorry, I was rambling a bit there, but hopefully I got the message across.
Okay, let's go to another one. Yeah, I see here Pablo saying Power BI and browser will be great, especially for us Linux users. Yes,
Yes,
100%.
Power BI is a little bit Windows centric. So if you're running a different operating system, it can be tricky. And hopefully we're taking the pain away there.
Yeah. Another one from Eugenio Borelli. Are you going to introduce tracks on Azure Data Fundamentals and Azure Data Engineer certifications as well? So if we go back to that cloud page, let me see what's in store. The answer is yes. It's just that whether it's going to happen this quarter or in future ones. So we are, yeah, we
There is,
have
in
the.
fact, an Azure Fundamentals track already.
Mhm. Yeah,
But yeah, there will be more content coming soon.
yeah. And then on top of that as well, will the will the sandbox be free for DataCamp members? Richie, not sure if you have context. I think it's for premium subscribers only, but
Yes, so there are going to be different tiers. There'll be a free tier for just people who've registered. There's going to be a slightly better tier for people who are premium subscribers, and there may be other tiers in the future, but that was not decided yet.
okay. Another question here. Okay, I can see it, but I cannot share it. Um, what kind of feedback has influenced upcoming changes and courses? This one's from Lucas. So mainly what we look at is a lot of interviews with learners and looking at the broader trends within the market about what are important skills people should learn. Right. We also look at counterintuitive data, like what are people searching on DataCamp. Right. And then moreover, we also get a lot of user feedback. Richie, you've been learning solutions architect. Have you had what are other ways?
I mean, how do we get feedback on what to do? Yeah, so some of it is just people telling us. So if you want some changes, file a support ticket. If there's anything you want, we listen to things that way. You're also welcome to just provide feedback via the NPA. There's like a ratings thing for like, are you enjoying stuff? If you want to have a rant about something, you're welcome to do that in those pop-ups. You can give feedback directly from within courses on particular exercises. And beyond that, we do a load of market research. So lots of different ways of deciding what needs to be done.
Okay, awesome. And then, great. Additional question here. I also see from Jack. Are there any plans to expand projects and to build more projects based on that include more real world scenarios? So we always are releasing more projects. What you see here, in what's upcoming is really the highlights of what's to come, right? But we're always releasing new projects that you recommend that you check out. Another one here from Amanda. I'll let you answer this, Richie. What courses or tracks fit team members who have entry-level data skills but aspire to become data scientists?
Sure. So we have a professional certification to become a data scientist, and there's different levels. There's the associate level. That's just I'm sort of casually interested in this. Professional level is I want to be a professional data scientist. So you want to take the career track that aligns with being a professional data scientist. I think it's called Data Scientist Professional, but I can't remember off the top of my head the exact naming. Let me just double check. It is in fact just called data analyst with Python, or there's the equivalent in R as well. But data scientist with Python is probably the one that you want.
Okay, awesome. And another one here as well from Henry. Can you discuss any upcoming partnerships that might bring new content to DataCamp? So we do have stuff in the pipeline, but I'm not allowed to say at the moment. But we will be announcing some things in the future. So do keep an eye out for that. I don't see any additional questions. Another question that we're getting as well here, another one from Emily, is when will the next DataCamp radar be? So that's still up to TBD. We're not gonna. We have things that are gonna be released in the next couple of weeks.
I thought you were going to spring that on me.
No.
Richie, you need to organize another conference.
Do check that out. We're gonna release something in the next couple of weeks. It's gonna be a bit different from DataCamp Radar, but there will be another radar by the end of the year. So that's something that we are discussing as well. I don't see any additional questions. But if there are, do let us know. Message us on LinkedIn. We're gonna ensure that every single resource and link that we mentioned in the presentation, that we send it over. I get one more question here. Do you plan to connect employers with learners further? Can you explain the current job board and if you plan to partner with employers further? That is a bit on pause at the moment, that while we focus on building out our curriculum, DataCamp Datalab, and all of the other great features that you've seen, right? But this is definitely something that we still want to invest in the future for now.
One thing to add to that, if you pass one of our professional certifications, then you get access to an exclusive DataCamp community, and there
Mm-hmm.
you do get provided a lot of career advice from that. And
Yeah.
also, I run webinars pretty frequently on how to get a career in data. There'll be more of those coming up soon. I think, next one's gonna be September, October. But do check back for the webinars regularly.
Yeah. Another question here from Hamad, which is, hello, Richie. Why do you count 4 hours for a course while it takes for an average person many, many, many hours to complete the course? 4 hours doesn't look good when we show the certificates. So generally, maybe Richie, I'll let you explain. You have a lot more historical knowledge on the 4 hour mark than I do.
Okay. So that uses a very dumb algorithm of like 1 hour per chapter in general. It always takes me longer than the sort of specified time to complete courses myself. Like, because I always I'll do an exercise and be like, I wonder if I type the code in a different way, and then I always go down rabbit holes and then spending a lot longer. So yeah, it's a very rough thing. I don't think. I wouldn't worry too much about what the specified number is. It's just a sort of rough guideline, because you can take courses a lot faster. If you just, if you're refreshing your memory on something that you half know already, you can zip through them in like half the time. There's a wild amount of difference in how long it takes to take a course.
Okay. Cool. So I think
There's
with one more question, do you think we should be afraid of AI?
webinar coming soon on that. I'm putting together something for September on what are the risks from AI. So like, how afraid should you be, or how excited should you be? Watch this space. You'll be able to register for that shortly.
Yeah, so coming soon. I think short answer is not really, but we'll see. So yeah, with that said, I'll let everyone first. A huge thank you for Richie and for everyone here who participated in creating this webinar. And again, thank you so much for all of the folks who attended this webinar. I really, really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Got people from all over the world. Tune in to next week's webinar. Actually, tomorrow I'm hosting a webinar on bridging the generative AI talent gap, so make sure to check that one out. And next week we have quite a few webinars as well that you can check out. And yeah, on to the next one. And do let us know if you missed any questions. Just let us know on LinkedIn. We're always happy